From the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast, and this is a personal PSA. As some of you know, I had a family tragedy last week because of someone impaired behind the wheel. If you want to go fuck yourself up, do it without going behind the wheel. If you want to do it yourself, it's fine by me. It's your own choice. If you get behind the wheel where my driving teacher in driving school said you're in a weapon, okay? You're selfish, you're an asshole, and you don't need to be behind the wheel at all. You don't even need to be walking at all. If you want to survive to be a grumpy old man like me and him, don't do it. Don't do it at all. I've never been behind the wheel impaired. He's never been behind the wheel impaired. If you do it, you're a fucking asshole. Okay? Don't do it. That's all I got to say.
Welcome to our ice cream bar-filled edition of the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast, right here on RGC Multimedia. Rick Crabb, right next to me to the cult of multiple personalities, Chris Filato.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a shame that there wasn't anything to talk about this past week.
No,
Chris.
not really. Nothing happened in Chicago at all.
No.
No, nothing happened Saturday in Las Vegas. No.
No. Nothing happened Sunday in Takeover either.
No, or New Japan or Impact. Nothing happened. No.
Okay. Well, let's tell the people what happened on Friday. I guess, does anybody really care what happened on SmackDown? I mean,
no, not really, because
okay.
I didn't watch the show. I was here. We really couldn't watch the show because of the football game preempting it. But from what I heard, it was a bad show. It was a really bad show. I mean, even for
Golden Show, it was redundant. That's the problem with both of those shows on that network. I mean, SmackDown hasn't been as bad as Raw, but it still suffered the same issues.
It's because we're getting Roman Reigns again. The whole same thing again.
Right. Well, this was an interesting thing about this. They were talking about the ratings between SmackDown and Raw. And they said that, SmackDown and Rampage, excuse me. Rampage, they said they got like what would they say? It was a 1.8?
1.18.
1.18, which
beat Dynamite.
Yeah, they said it was the second highest AEW TV show on TNT, other than the first episode of Dynamite.
It was the second highest rated show on cable behind football Friday night.
And oddly enough, football may have contributed even more than WWE realized, because here in Baltimore, and I'm sure in a lot of other cities, the Fox affiliate, even though we're in Baltimore, home of the Baltimore Ravens, for some reason Fox 45 decided to show the
Washington football team.
Yeah, the What TF, or the What WFT, yeah.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I mean, who cares about the Redskins? I'm sorry.
I still call them that, too. That's all.
I call them the Redskins, I call them the Foreskins, I call them the Potatoes. They suck.
The Hoggets.
Yeah. That being said, I don't know. I might go after their running back in fantasy, but regardless. But in Baltimore, a lot of people, unless they had access to the Washington Fox affiliate, ironically, they would not be able to see it.
Or watching it online on whatever streaming service you're on.
Yeah, or watching it like another day or something, or watching it later on the network or on the cock,
Yeah.
Not that you would really want to. Okay.
You digress.
All right. Then we went to that little show in Chicago.
Oh my God.
And to the point of, okay.
The hate was overwhelming.
And the way those people were chanting, I honestly thought originally they should have did that last instead of at the beginning. But like you had said when we were watching it, for security reasons, they pretty much had to.
They broke a Guinness record on sound.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. It's like going to a Man-O-War show.
Yeah. Made me in tears, too.
Yeah, but they said they broke the 95 decibels?
Maybe. Yeah, that's possible. It's an indoor arena and all that.
What did you think of what Cornette said about it? About the you-know-who's coming back, if you want to talk about that name already.
Who are you talking about?
Punk. But he said that was the perfect storm.
Yeah, he said it's not how he would have done it, but he said they actually did it better. He gave them
props, which got me. I couldn't believe he gave them props.
Yeah.
He hates them.
Well, he hates some things about them.
All petite. He calls them all petite.
Right. He hates the Bucks. He hates Omega. He hates...
Probably hates Paige. Probably hates Cody.
No, he likes Paige. Cody, he kind of goes back and forth on it. At first, he really liked him when they first started.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I don't know, he soured on Jericho. He soured on, what's his name, the midget with the... Marco Stunt. Yeah, he calls him Dong Sucker or something like that. But I don't know. But anyway, the promo, outstanding.
Let them to play when Punk came out, the roof came. And I will even say this: what Jim Ross said, it was Michael Jordan-esque with the crowd response.
The only way that could have gone more over with that Chicago crowd is if Punk was actually a Scooby-Doo villain with a CM Punk costume and revealed himself to be Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Oh, then you would really have to call the cops out.
Pretty much that's like the sports celebration for non-sports fans in Chicago. Okay,
Yeah.
You met a lot of wrestling fans. Even though you and I watch other actual professional sports, there are a lot of them that don't like professional sports. They refer to football as sport ball.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We were talking about the crowd reactions, about the weeping. We saw openly, especially that one guy on the camera shot.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, how the hell did you get in the crowd already from my house?
I was, okay, like I said, I watched it here with you.
Yeah.
In Old Man Central. And Grumpy Old Man Central. The Grumpy Cave.
Yeah.
Did I not mark out? Did I not jump up out of the couch?
You did. You almost slid down the grumpy old pole if I would have had one.
Yeah.
You tried to do it even though I don't have one. But okay,
like Uncle Fester?
Yeah.
But they were laying breadcrumbs for about a month already, and even with Darby saying the best in the world, and the Chick Magnet T-shirt that Omega was wearing, and some of the things they were saying.
Right.
They were laying the groundwork, and they were just basically telling us he's coming.
Right.
Boy, I was at an event Saturday, and I wore an LIJ shirt from New Japan, and people were coming up to me who recognized the shirt and says, "Man, did you watch it last night?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and thank you for the new subscribers, by the way, who subscribed to our channel on Saturday.
Tell your friends, and then tell their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay.
But we talked about it, and I even asked them, did they weep? Did they cry? They said yes. This man had that reaction. This man had that kind of, I don't want to say gravitas, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. Well, here's the thing. On one hand, a lot of people praise Punk for being honest and not giving a fuck. But really, Punk is a master bullshitter. Okay? He knows
how to work the crowd.
He knows what buttons to push. When he wants to heel on you, he will heel on you.
For what I heard, Phil Brooks, the band's an asshole.
Yeah.
He talked about the WWE without mentioning the WWE.
Yeah.
Where he said he got sick.
Mm-hmm.
When he mentioned the Ring of Honor, and that takes me back to the Pipe Bomb promo 10 years ago,
Right.
When he talked about Ring of Honor New Japan, when he said he was going to beat Cena and take it somewhere, I was like, damn, he mentioned another promotion?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know, anyone who... I don't know, wrestler or not, I don't know anybody who ever got fired on their wedding day.
Yeah.
I mean...
By what was it, FedEx or by fax? I thought it was fax. Yeah, I think it was fax.
I mean, it could be like Eric Bischoff, by phone, who cares? That's just really impersonal and just...
On your wedding day. And I bet you it was Laurinaitis.
And of course he was getting married to another former...
A former
Titan Sports property, employee, right.
Britt Baker said the best thing on this interview, said she wants AJ come to AEW. Do you see AJ coming out of retirement? AJ Lee, I mean.
Maybe. You never know.
If AJ Lee comes out of retirement, just as a manager, she'd be so far over. She'd be so far fucking over. But,
well, here's the thing with AEW, and I joked about this on another episode. It's like, it can't... I don't care if you're a billionaire, trillionaire, if you're...
like more money than God?
Yeah. If you're like the Council of Owls that run Saudi Arabia and have all their fucking money, you gotta draw the line as far as hiring people. You can't just, okay, Vince gotta owe this person, alright, let's snatch him up.
He's on the dream list for another company, But like I said, with Adam Cole leaving, his contract's up Friday. He did his last match on Takeover. He has not resigned. From what I heard, he was at SmackDown talking to Vince himself a couple of weeks ago.
He probably doesn't like the new direction for NXT, which we'll get to later.
We'll get to it in a little bit. And if he was going to be called up for main roster, he's going to be doing he's going to be on catering. Mm-hmm. Or be let go. Or be doing stupid shit. I'm glad he's going somewhere else. He could go to Ring of Honor and reform the Kingdom with Taven and
he would fit in with that indie ripper type of crowd. That's... Yeah.
Because everybody knows Adam Cole, baby.
Right.
And I could see mixed tags coming up with him and Britt,
Except, I don't know, I actually saw an interview with her and with Britt and Leva Bates at a Comic-Con. He said Tony Khan doesn't like the mixed matches. That's why they don't do that. Okay. So that probably won't happen, but you never know.
Because we all know Miro's wife's going to be coming soon. You know that's coming. You know Lana's coming.
I mean, he keeps mentioning her in his interviews. But...
His hot wife, yeah. And she's a better mouthpiece than him.
Well...
She can do a better promo than him, even though his promos have been spot on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now. I mean, the fact that he's the... he's the angry, roided-out killer, not, not Pippin Penelope's, party planner.
Yeah, being the best man.
Right.
He's God's champion. What do you think of the whole him being God's champion thing?
That's just something to put him over as a heel. I have no problem with that.
You think it'll ruffle some feathers in the certain sex?
People's feathers will get ruffled over anything, Chris. Who gives a shit? I mean, he's a bad guy. He's supposed to ruffle feathers. That's his job. But
going back to Punk and that promo, when he said, "I hear you, Chicago," he should have said, "I hear you, everyone."
Well, he did. He mentioned, as far as the famous sick line, he said, to whoever, and he did say that, he said, "I did it for you, I did it for me, I did it for everybody," but, he went off, so.
They gave him 20 minutes. They gave him, the rest of the show was meh, but the Punk appearance and promo stole the show. It overshadowed everything.
Well, and it wore out the crowd too, because it was like what you see on these long pay-per-views where you could tell the crowd's just
we was it Temple enough we were last year, and we were at a certain seafood place, and it was 4 hours long, and everybody was just like, or watching WrestleMania. You're sitting there watching WrestleMania for 7 hours.
Yeah. Well, you know who I blamed for that?
VKM.
Yeah,
Mr. Burns.
Mm-hmm. No. No, an A.
Oh, AEW.
Oh, okay. You were talking about the WrestleMania. I thought you were talking about the AEW pay-per-view with the football fuckery.
Yeah. Well,
where he had 80 false finishes in the Young Bucks matches, fucking assholes.
It makes you wonder are they booking their own matches?
Of course they are.
Like Omega's booking he's booking the women's. We know that for a fact.
He's doing a lot of things with the women's, yeah.
But
fucking pervert. But anyway.
like I said, they're beating up Vince for lunch money right now.
Yeah, lunch money is.
They're shaking him.
It's Jello and pudding, you know.
They're shaking him upside down for loose change. And I've been saying this for a while. When Vince bought the company out from his father back in the early 80s, and he started gobbling up these territories and started buying out everybody else, including WCW and ECW back, turn I like to say turn of our century. I think him being the bully karma is coming back to haunt him because all these promotions are ganging up on him now.
You know, I thought about this, and this would be probably the end of the world for most wrestling fans. What if that crazy son of a bitch
was behind it all?
And I'll tell you how. He's getting rid of all these people in his company, sells his company to the cock, and then buys AEW.
He does. I'll stop watching AEW because they'll be starting with the same old bullshit.
If he does that, this won't be the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. This will be MMA. It'll be how shitty the Orioles are playing. It'll be
other promotions out there, but they don't get the national.
It'll be girls that used to work for OnlyFans. I mean, it'll be everything but pro wrestling. I mean,
well, we still got other promotions out there to talk about. It's just they won't have the national spotlight the big two have now.
They don't have to. I mean, I don't know. The ones I watch, I mean...
You watch NWA.
NWA and MLW when they're on.
I watch Impact.
I
watch New Japan.
Yeah. But
I want to touch on New Japan real briefly. I watched the Resurgence show.
Yeah.
We had the Good Brothers match against Yuji Nagata and Moxley, which they pinned Nagata. How do they call it? Magic Killer? 1, 2, 3. Carl Anderson was doing a promo. All of a sudden, the mic cut out. He grabbed another mic. That mic cut out. And he was wondering what the hell the mic's. All of a sudden, the Gorillas show up.
Hey.
The Tongans show up.
Cool.
The Tongans basically faced down the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers bailed. So that's going to build up for future matches here in the United States, hopefully. Maybe at a certain bingo hall in Philadelphia.
Yes, and I think we had mentioned, well, All Japan will be doing a show in Philadelphia. I'm sorry, New Japan. Sorry, Baba. Rest in peace. Yeah. New Japan will be wrestling at the 2300 Arena in Philly in October, 17th?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, Will Ospreay showed up with the world title, even though he had to vacate the title before injury. He cut a great promo on Moxley because Moxley was stuck in the United States for about a year with the U.S. title, never defended it, and they never did anything to him.
Right.
And when the typhoon hit Japan, and he couldn't travel 2 years ago, they stripped him of the title and gave it to Archer. And that makes you wonder, like, they're doing good storylines with this, with Ospreay having the real world title.
Right.
And Shingo in Japan, who now has COVID, from what I'm hearing, he calls him the interim world champion.
And Don Callis will be playing the role of Bobby Heenan, I guess.
Yeah, and Ospreay said he's staying in the United States, so he might be at that October show.
That would be interesting to see.
And he called out the young lions of their school there, the students of Shibata. Tanahashi's staying here in the United States, from what I understand. Tomohiro Ishii is staying in the United States. By the way, new U.S. champion Lance Archer lost it to Tanahashi. Great match, by the way. Tanahashi can still go.
And you were telling me off the air in September in New York there is a
GCW show, I think September 24th at the Melrose Ballroom. Homicide versus everybody's favorite hardcore sponge old man hit hard. It's going to be there. Minoru Suzuki.
Oof.
And it's going to be you're going to have him for him Homicide in the head until his teeth come out. And Homicide's just going to bring out utensils.
That'll probably be the most violent fight that doesn't involve Marvel superheroes or Snake Plissken.
And he'll just laugh at homicide while he's taking forks to the head, probably. But if he's going to be in this country, and it makes me think that he is going to stay in this country because the G1 starts September 18th, and it's the most grueling wrestling tournament out there. They have two groups, of A block and B block, and they go by a points system. Right. And the winners of both blocks face each other in the final, and the winner faces the champion, whoever that is, in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom in January at the Tokyo Dome. Mm-hmm. It's like winning the Royal Rumble and you get the main event at WrestleMania. Right. And this is the 31st G1 Climax tournament. But if he's not part of it and he's here in September, I bet even money that he's going to be at that show in October. Okay. Yeah. But it's very possible. But like I said, seeing. What you were we recording when Christian won the world title, Impact World title? Well, here's the thing, folks. We had an episode in the can that was recorded before all the CM Punk stuff, but it's kind of like anybody who went on YouTube for wrestling and it didn't have CM Punk stuff in it. It's like, who gave a shit? So I might be editing some of that episode in with this episode, but maybe not. Going back to Punk real quick, a mutual friend of ours, Doug, when I was at the event I was at Saturday in D.C., texted me and he sent me pictures. The AEW shop site crashed. Pro Wrestling Tees crashed because they couldn't handle the traffic for the CM Punk stuff. I mean, this is for one man. Think about that. I've never seen merch go that quick, and they were asking for $149 for that shirt he was wearing Friday night. Well, I mean, and they were getting it. Jeez. Wait a minute. They were charging that much for a regular ass T-shirt? That's what he sent me the text about. Go to hell. And they got it too. They got it because the marks out there were the marks. God, and they are. Which means, yeah, they'll give. I mean, they'll probably Daniel Bryan shirts will be fucking expensive. He'll probably go back to his real name, and we'll probably get. You know what song he's going to come into? The Final Countdown. I bet you he comes into the Final Countdown. Maybe. Now, there's conflicting reports about Bray Wyatt. Dave Meltzer said he's going to AEW. Brian Alvarez says he isn't set in stone yet there. Right. His 30 days up, or his 90 days are up on October 29th, Friday. Oh, jeez. Just before Halloween. Perfect, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. And Nick Khan did a rare interview, and he talked about they still don't think AEW's competition. Well, Vince, do you think they're not competition now? Look at the numbers. The numbers are there. He'll deny it all he wants, and he'll get Roman Reigns to deny it all he wants. Okay, the demographic, the 18 to 39 demographic, or was it the 49 or 39 demographic? 18 to 49, yeah. They killed Raw, SmackDown, and NXT that Friday night in the demographic. Yeah, I'm sure they did. And, like I said, kudos to Tony Khan. I think Tony Khan's our savior right now from Vince. Well, we went from one surprise in AEW to Saturday. Another night the next night. And how they botched it. Or as Vince McMahon once said to Jerry Lawler in Memphis, surprise, surprise, surprise. That's right. I watched, since I was at this event, I downloaded and watched it Sunday, and it was a card. I think the best match was Edge and Rollins. Even with Edge coming out to the Brute theme, which was fucking awesome. Right, yeah. Did you hear about the problems they had with the venue? Yes. Do you want to talk about that? Apparently now they had problems with the pyro. The pyro, the Titantrons, the vendors had problems with the credit cards for their merch and for hot dogs and for everything in the Raiders Death Star. Yeah. And from what I heard, Vince footed the bill for the food. Well, okay. He had to. I mean, he had no choice right now. They had his balls in the place. Yeah. Because from what I heard, was it Gillette Stadium? What was it called? Allegiant Stadium? Allegiant Stadium, yes, where the Las Vegas Raiders play. Allegiant Stadium is cashless. If you had cash to buy anything, you're SOL.
Right.
They take card only, and from what I heard, the Wi-Fi system was completely down too.
Well, a lot of NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball stadiums are doing that now. So.
Well, the event I was at Saturday was cashless, except for a couple of things.
Right.
But like I said, it's not Vince's fault for that.
That part is, but there are plenty of other things.
Oh,
in this show.
you want to talk about a certain redhead?
Yes. And
I love Becky. I really do love Becky.
A lot of people do. Everybody in there did. They popped when she came out. Now, here's my thing. I don't have a problem with her wanting to be a heel. Mm-hmm. I think they should have just, instead of Vince McMahon's ADD kicking in and not wanting to tell a long-term story and build up a feud between her and...
Like New Japan and AEW.
And what his company did long time ago, have her and the Bianca Copper have a feud, okay?
Which I'm hearing they're going to continue. They're going to continue.
But, I mean, right after that squat, and that's another
26 seconds.
If you're going to have, if you're going to have her lose the belt, do it where you have Carmella or Zelina Vega, I don't know, hit Bianca Copter in the arm or something, and then Becky Lynch gives her that shitty version of Ronda Rousey's armbar, that she would win.
Oh, they disarm her?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you hear what her new finish was called?
What?
The manhandle slam.
Okay.
Now, this is how fucked up this was. They were still advertising Sasha. Apparently, there's a problem with Sasha. I do not know. Nobody's coming forward any information whatsoever. I went to Meltzer, I went to Johnson, I went everywhere. And there's no information.
You would go to a Johnson, but
Mike Johnson, and I went to Uncle Dave. Nothing. Wow. Nothing's being said. They are advertising it right up to the bell time. And he even said, the ring announcer said, unable to compete. Carmella came out. I was like, I went from there to angry. Then when Becky came out, I went angry to glad. And this is how much close I've noticed. Those shirts were made 2 weeks before she came back Saturday.
I had heard another report where it was even sooner than that. They said they got to the arena 48 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 48 hours. Yeah. And
keep going. I got to take care of something while.
And then she squashed Carmella, which again, no bad feeling. And then all of a sudden, she squashed Bianca with 2 moves in 26 seconds. I went back to angry again. And I don't know. I was so mixed up in emotion, I didn't know what to do.
It reminded me of something else. I mentioned this to you off the air. Well, I didn't mention actually what my feeling was on that. You know the old trope in horror films where you have a character played by a black actor or actress? They're the first one to go. I
know where you're going with this. Yes.
That's what I'm beginning to think with any African American champion. Yeah.
There's no racism in WWE. No.
I mean, and
ACH was completely wrong. Yeah.
And you're a comic book fan. You've probably heard the term "fridged," right?
Oh yeah, the Colorado thing. Yeah. You think they fridged Bianca?
They copied Bianca.
Yeah.
I mean,
they copied Kofi twice. So.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they're going to be doing a feud. Mm-hmm. We're going to see a feud, and probably going to be at Extreme Rules next month. But the way they did it, they completely fucked it up.
Yeah, well, screwdriver moves from Montreal to Las Vegas, I guess now. I don't know.
And for one, this was completely Vince's call.
It was.
It wasn't Laurinaitis. It wasn't Khan. It wasn't even Kevin Dunn.
Well, Laurinaitis, Pritchard, or Dunn doesn't do anything without Vince. So everything.
Or even Khan.
Yeah.
Even Nick Khan.
Yeah.
But we were, like I said, the rest of the card, except for the very end, the return of the Beast. I think they did that perfectly.
Well, and if they don't fuck that up, that could be a good long-term story.
With him and Reigns?
Not only that, but...
Brock shows up when he wants to show up, though.
Not only that. But who does Brock and Roman have in common?
The Rock?
No!
Heyman.
It'll be a custody battle for Paul Heyman. Yeah.
The first thing did you watch the match at all, or you heard about it, or did you see the?
I saw highlights of it. Yes.
Did you see who Brock made a beeline for? He started walking towards Heyman.
Right.
Yeah, and then Roman stood between them.
Mm.
I think Brock is going to get his hands on Heyman.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate.
Yeah.
But Brock in his ponytail. He looked like a hipster lumberjack.
I saw somebody post a meme where they posted a picture of him and then posted a drawing of an onion next to it.
Somebody said that at work today too.
I got mixed feelings on that. I mean,
well, this is going to be a setup for the Saudi show, which we know Brock's going to win because Vince is predictable.
and then Brock's not going to show up for another year or whatever.
No, he'll show up for Survivor Series.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to be champion versus champion, brand versus brand. If Lashley beats Goldberg, and probably Extreme Rules, we're going to get Lashley versus Lesnar at Survivor Series.
Oh shit, that's right. They're going to continue that hard feud with Goldberg. Good God.
Do you want to talk about that? Okay, I want to talk about that. Because you want to talk about the finish? Referee stoppage.
Yeah.
On Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
The unstoppable tank that is Goldberg. Because he kept on hitting, he kept on working over the leg. Okay, we've been watching this shit long enough that, you know, if you work over the long, they're supposed to tap out and submit.
Not only that, but I think that might have been like a last-minute call thing based on the crowd reaction.
Oh, yeah, you told me it was Rock Hogan Toronto.
Yeah, the people were turning on the booker.
Yeah, and the son of Goldberg tried to jump in and got the Hurt Lock. And I like MVP's promo. I didn't know it was your son. We didn't know it was your son. He's going to kill Lashley. That's the added element right there.
And then you had the other women's title.
The three-way?
Yes.
It wasn't bad, but it's Charlotte all over again.
Exactly. Charlotte all over again.
Omniflare.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Omniflare is everywhere.
Why won't he put it on Rhea Ripley? Jesus Christ.
She's young. She's 23. She could carry that company. Again, she's another NXT call-up. They won't do anything with her. They don't know what to do with her. And we'll talk about that, about what happened last night on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
About who Lashley maybe's next opponent's going to be.
Right.
A man who wants his name to live forever.
You mean the new U.S. champion?
Yeah, because they had a stare down last night on Raw.
Right.
Which, if you think about it, wasn't that a secondary belt to make it a #1 contender?
It used to be, but I mean the Intercontinental belt used to be that too, and
they're on different brands, so
yeah.
Speaking of which, this is another thing that bothered the living fuck out of me from SummerSlam. You have Boogs and Nakamura come out and do nothing.
Right.
Except for Pat McAfee to act like a complete jackass on stage, up on their playing.
You didn't need that. You also didn't need the Moist TV. You didn't need Xavier Woods coming out with the water gun, even though the water is supposed to be like a sponsor. It's
kind of like the zombie thing for the zombie battle royal. I mean,
right.
Zombies,
that didn't even turn into a match. I mean,
yeah, I know. Oh, how did you like Xavier Woods' outfit? He's paying tribute
Razor
to Scott
Ramon. Hey yo.
He even had the curl. I was like, look at him. Why does he look like Superman? But apparently Kofi is not cleared for action for some reason. Maybe he has COVID. I don't know. I want to talk about Keith Lee for a second. Did you hear about why he was gone for a while? He did contract COVID and called inflammation around his heart. Mm. And that's why they had to wait for that to calm down for him to be cleared. And I heard he's been doing dark matches with Austin Theory.
Right.
Instead of coming out to Karrion Kross, who looks like a reject from Mad Max now. Oh, Jesus Christ, the helmet.
Yeah. Oh, that thing. Yeah. That.
Oh yeah, last.
Oh yeah, it's like
yeah.
both What Culture and Wrestle Talk were saying he looked like the Gimp, but
Yeah, the first thing when they said that, I thought of you.
whoa, time out.
Because we both like that movie. We both like that movie.
Pulp Fiction. Okay, all right.
We both like that movie, and all of a sudden that song got in my head.
Oh Lord.
But
We're gonna have to wake you up.
Vince, you don't know what the fuck you're doing anymore. You're gonna be
He doesn't care what he's doing. In fact,
he's gonna be 76 in 2 weeks.
an old episode of Raw back in 2012, which was a work then. But watch
Shoot
this
work
now.
almost.
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, it could be a shoot right now. It got to the point where this was just before CM Punk defeated.
See you and kiss the boom and kiss goodbye.
Right, and Punk's contract really was in flux until I think the day of that title match.
Yep.
But people didn't know that. But the whole thing was, it was like he was like saying all this stuff. You basically saying, Vince, you're out of touch. You're out of this. You don't do what the people want. And Vince got.
I don't care what they want.
And he was the babyface supposed to be during this.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I know, Vince. That's the problem." So you're going.
We want the ice cream bar. You can't even bring back the ice cream bars.
Oh, jeez, again with the ice cream. I swear, you did one track mind.
No, when he said that, and then when
Right,
he said
yeah.
at the end of the promo,
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with
it
you.
was like, and that was a jab in Vince's eye.
Mm.
That was a big jab in Vince's eye. How much do you think he enjoyed doing that against Vince?
Well, and Vince probably enjoyed it to an extent because
Vince had a hard on about it because without mentioning the company, you mentioned the company.
Right. No, I mean, well, I'm not talking about Friday. I'm talking about that promo back then.
Back then, he probably had a Woody behind that table.
And that was one thing I heard on Cornette's show. Brian Last, when he mentioned about the ice cream bars. He was like, "Did you ever have one of those WWE ice cream bars?"
I never did. Did you?
You're kidding me, you didn't?
Never.
Oh, God, yes. Dude. They were awesome.
Okay.
Forget that it had anything to do with wrestling. Okay? Basically, this is what the WWE ice cream bars were. One layer was a cookie, almost like a chocolate chip cookie without the chips.
Yeah.
It had like an edible imprint of different wrestlers. Okay? Usually Hulk Hogan, Warrior, Macho Man,
Yeah.
whoever was popular back then. And had a lot of heels on there too. Then the second layer was vanilla ice cream. Third layer was thick chocolate.
Ooh.
Oh my God. And then this was something I didn't know. And I didn't remember it. I was going to ask if you remember this, but you probably don't now, after what you just told me. Apparently they had a thing where when you bought these Brian Last said he used to buy them from the Good Humor trucks. I remember seeing them then, but I'll tell you later where I got my first one. Mm-hmm. Apparently when you bought them, they came with a trading card of whatever wrestler was on your
I think
bar.
I remember hearing about that, yeah.
And if you got the Hulk Hogan one, which was rare, you got a second, you can turn it in for a second ice cream bar.
I like that.
And now...
Free shit, still free shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where I got my first one was many years ago in the Boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland. Somebody actually had a wrestling merchandise store back then. Long before pro wrestling tees, long before an internet.
Before we had friends of ours that had stores, yeah.
It used to be the only way you can get a lot of these shows were at... Not even that, I don't even think they had them at the flea markets then. It used to be either like ordering from the WWF magazine or buying them at the shows.
Yeah.
And I remember I bought a Hot Rod Roddy Piper shirt from there, and I bought my first...
Is that the shirt you wore when you met him?
No.
Okay.
No, that was the one I bought that later. No, it was the original one. It was the white with the red ring in the sleeves and all that. Which Pro Wrestling Tees I think sells. In fact, they even sell like the old one. If you remember, he had that one with like that Black Panther head or whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking of getting one of them, and I actually have the red kit.
Oh,
but anyway, it was. I bought the bar there, and
Num num.
Num
Num.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually, speaking of Piper, I'm actually looking forward to seeing his daughter debut.
Yeah, I would too. I've never seen her wrestle. I saw her a few times in Texas at SCW, I believe it's called. SWE, I'm sorry. She was a manager for her fiance, I forget the wrestler's name, but she just came out as a manager, and she was going to have her own, and he had a future card where she was going to have her own Piper's Pit, where she was doing the Piper's Pit.
You know who's training her? Ronda. Ronda Rousey and James Storm are training her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess Ronda Rousey's returning the favor, I guess.
Yeah, because she's a huge Piper mark, yeah.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be a coinkydink if she was part of Empowerr or that 21 woman over the top rope casino battle royal at all out?
She was in one of those battle royals in an AEW pay-per-view a while back. She was only in it once. She wasn't like a storyline or anything like that, but she was. I think it was just like a one-shot for that night.
Well, you want to talk about? You showed me the card. You want to talk about 73?
All right, Chris. Well, what do you think about that card?
I'm actually looking forward to it. Well, I'm not as big into NWA as you are.
Right.
Yeah, to me, it's a little bit more ground based. In that my ADD's in overdrive sometimes.
And that's actually why I enjoy NWA for a lot of reasons. I'm tired of flippy bullshit.
You're think of the flippity floppity bullshit and the spooky bullshit.
Yeah. Elite. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. And I'm actually looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to Empowerr. I want to see how much of a booker, how good a booker Mickie James really is, because I'll be watching it.
I think she's
with a very
chomping at the
critical
bit.
eye. I think I'm going to watch it with a very critical eye and see how she books these shows.
Yeah, I think she'll have some good ideas, and her husband Nick Aldis produces the episodes of Power and the pay-per-view, so he's really like an agent and a booker there too. So
did you read Mickie James's quote towards Nick Khan? I gave you, was it yesterday?
What?
She called him Big Pussy from The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I saw that. I was like, I love her even more. Mickie, if you're watching, please, I'll reach out to you. I want you as a guest. This is a big get. I know it is. But you would be a fantastic guest for our show because the shit that you're thinking up on Twitter right now is amazing.
Her and her husband. They would both be awesome guests, but...
Yeah, but like I said, I'm going to watch it with a critical eye. I want to see how she's going to book. And I got a feeling a certain former NXT superstar is going to show up. Someone who got released in the batch names a couple of weeks ago. I think because it's going to be, I think it's going to be a 30-day no compete. And if it is, she's going to be there. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be Mercedes Martinez. Because I love Mercedes. I've been watching her in Indies. I've been watching her shimmer. I've been watching her shine. I even watched her in NXT. She needs a chance somewhere.
Yeah.
She needs a chance. She's been in this business for 20 years. And she's a fucking legend.
Well, she'll be going through the formerly forbidden, now revolving door. So she'll be...
What door? Oh, speaking of which, did you see the Twitter war between FTR and them boys?
No.
There's a Twitter war between FTR and the Briscoes. So, since there's no doors anymore, you see a Ring of Honor crossover.
It won't be any kind of crossover with the Briscoes. It'll be a run over. It'll be they'll come with like a beat up Chevy pickup truck with chicken shit in the back, and probably like some bats and.
They said something that's like, your bosses were our bitches for a year.
There you go. They are a couple of bitches. I agree with
the Briscoes are making noise that maybe they were doing open challenges before Dishonor. For any team, anywhere. And that show was last week, and I didn't read the results, so I don't know who showed up. If FTR showed up, it'd be a surprise.
I hope they meet the Bucks with some feathers, Colonel's 11 herbs and spices, maybe some biscuits from Rofo. I don't know. I mean, just.
But how would you like to see? I asked you this before. How would you like to see Jay and Mark in AEW or even Impact?
I think they'd be better for Impact. I think AEW they might get buried by those.
Because you got too many tag teams there. Yeah, you're overloaded on tag teams there, and they really don't have a lot of tag teams anywhere else.
Yeah.
And like said, me and you, I don't know if you hung out with them, I've hung out with them. That's no gimmick, ladies and gentlemen. They are chicken farmers from Delaware. They are rednecks from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
And I met their dad. I hung out with their dad. I can't wait to see what their sister looks like. They have a real life sister. Oh dear Lord. But I love the Briscoes. I always did like the Briscoes.
Yeah. I still have a DVD, like a best of. I've yet to watch it though. I don't know why. I guess it's because of the movie. Yeah, I think I actually bought it at the Free Enterprise show. I haven't opened. It's still in the plastic, but you know how I've been moving a lot.
Yeah, best of Briscoes.
Yep.
Yeah, they probably have them against Steen and Generico. A lot of them on there.
Yeah.
The other indie thing I just popped in my head, and it's upcoming. Steve Carino's doing his only indie show, and I know he's working for NXT. He's going to be facing his son.
Oh, wow, no kidding.
And I forgot what indie promotion it is, but it's going to be Colby Carino versus Steve Carino. Would you want to see that?
Yeah, definitely. Especially in NWA, Colby Carino's been living off of Steve Carino's name.
Is he even good in the ring at all? Because I remember when he first debuted, he was not good.
He's all right. I mean, he's like his old man. He's a better mouthpiece than wrestler, but
because I remember seeing him in Ring of Honor when Carino was still there, and he was just so green.
Well, I remember when we used to see him in Indies. What was his nickname there? And I think they made it up at our show.
I forgot.
Well, back then he had a resemblance to a certain Sean Waltman, and we called him 456.
Yeah, Carino, yeah. Yeah, 456. And he was the king of old school.
Yeah.
Carino's now grandfather.
God damn, I feel old.
I know. Carino's now, Colby's got a kid, and Carino's now. Would you want to see that match anywhere? Do you think Steve could go?
Yeah, I think he could. I'll tell you one. Speaking of feeling old, in that tag match in the NWA card, that one kid is the son of Damien 666. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when we saw him?
Yeah. Yes. And when you shout out a certain wrestler saying he would do the gimmick.
Yep.
Yeah. He probably doesn't do that with this. It's like I said. It's Empowerr will have a very critical eye on it. I love Mickey James to death.
Yeah.
And I really want to see the Free Babes. I want to know if they're going to come out the Patch Street, because I don't know if Michael will let them use it.
I think she actually, Terry Gordy's daughter actually came out to that song in SWE.
She came out the Bad Street. We'll see. Because,
because Hayes is there, you don't think Vince owns that song now, does he?
I don't know. I know they're in the Hall of Fame, and him and Garvin came into that song at the Hall of Fame.
And I think on WWE, you know how they dub in music that they don't over copyrighted music? I remember seeing a match, if you remember...
From the old Dallas days?
It was either Dallas, AWA, or it might have even been like that Cup of Coffee when they came in as baby faces with Dave Wolf and WWE.
Oh, yeah.
It was. Okay, it was, because it was a show at...
Cindy Lauper, the whole rock and wrestling.
Yeah, it was a Philly Spectrum show, yeah.
They overdubbed the
when they came out of they had like the long limousine, they came out and like took like 15 minutes for them to get to the ring. They played that song instead of Freebird.
Oh, because remember when they were in WCW for the longest time, they were playing Freebird.
Yeah.
Then they got. I think this is when they got Humperdinck. They came into Bad Street. Then again, the Steiners came into fucking Welcome to the Jungle. So
yeah.
I can't wait to see what Rick Steiner's son looks like in NXT.
Right.
He's going under his real last name of Rex Steiner, and I heard he's just as big as his dad.
Jeez Whiz.
Do you want to talk about the direction of NXT?
Supposedly,
this is when Vince went down to the Performance Center to scout new talent.
Right. We mentioned that on the episode we recorded, but didn't air. Basically, Vince doesn't like the direction of NXT. He basically took Triple H away from there, and now he wants to streamline it so that NXT performers are basically trainees for the main roster, and he says
that's what NXT originally was.
Right.
And then it became a life of its own. And from what I'm hearing, Gargano's going to be the top heel there now. I'll even say this: Karrion Kross lost the title to Samoa Joe Sunday.
And there was a quote about how they didn't want midgets there. They didn't want
anybody over 30. They don't want the indie-rific people.
Well, wait a minute. How old is Gargano?
He's in his 30s, and he's going to be. Congratulations again to Cam and Candice are going to be the parents for the first time, and Candice is not young. She's in her 30s.
And how old is Samoa Joe? He's probably
in 40.
Right, and he just won their belt.
Probably just to keep it warm for somebody young. That's all.
Okay.
Because Vince wants a youth movement, and the only thing, this is when they did the Breakthrough Tournament, and the finals of the Breakthrough Tournament is tonight, matter of fact. We're doing this on Tuesday night. And I don't know, I forgot who it's going to be, I think a kid named Osmosis something. Jones, I think it is.
Right. Well, youth movement. It's more like a bowel movement.
But the thing is, one of the guys in the tournament, and somebody I think you know, that I definitely know, is Joe Gacy from CCW.
Right.
And when we used to run RCW at the Dew Burns Arena, I remember watching a Joe Gacy match at a CCW show, standing next to Gacy's mom. And you could see Mom was beaming with pride. I'd like to see Gacy go far, but not there.
Right.
Because I honestly don't think it's good. NXT is going to turn into a third version of them? No.
It's already been doing. That's why I stopped watching them. It already has been before
with
that.
Index?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't be like Tempest the Wrestler. Where we turn into a tirade about how a serial killer gimmick is getting married to a brunette from Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, on that note, I don't know, do you want to talk about the Takeover real quick, other than what we already mentioned?
I watched the Drag It Off Walter match of the year candidate in any promotion. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Dragunov's pictures of his chest?
Yes.
Those chops from Walter are lethal. He even took to the sky.
Jeez,
that fucker flew and did a splash. Not kidding. And
you have Hosses and then you have Walter. He's a James Bond villain. I'm sorry.
He is a James Bond villain. But like I said, it was. Other than that, the women's match between Dakota and Raquel, which I knew Raquel was, it was predictable. It was very predictable. Mm-hmm. And seeing DiBiase not being a butler, which I wanted to see him as a butler because it would have been fucking funny.
Yeah.
And LA Knight, I don't know what they're going to do with LA Knight now.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Yeah.
He was better where he was. Mm-hmm. He was better in Impact. Oh, speaking of Impact,
of course you want to speak about Impact. Good God. Did you use that for a safe word.
Did you hear what Christian did with the TNA title?
Yeah, he retired it, and he's just He
gave it to Dave Pencer, the ring announcer. Which I think was a good idea, because that company, as it was, is no longer in existence. It's Impact now.
Right, and those three letters, a lot of people associate that with
Dixie.
Well, with Dixie, also with
Jarrett
Russo.
And Jarrett.
Yeah.
And it's a new company, and I'm liking the strides they're making to try to make it better.
Right.
Instead of the shit where we were used to with Russo, Jarrett, and Dixie.
Although they got to get rid of that casino bullshit.
They did.
Okay. All right.
The thing is, you know where Swinger was this time? He's co-host of Madison Rain's Locker Talk interview segment. Yeah. He's her Ed McMahon.
Oh, okay.
And he was falling asleep, and they did a locker room talk with Tennille Dashwood, because apparently they're calling themselves the Influence now. Ah. So there might be going again another female tag team to go after Decay.
Okay, that's cool.
We had the same night. The Punk was on Dynamite on Rampage. Nobody was watching Emergence. I can almost guarantee nobody was watching Emergence because of the Punk rumors.
Of course not.
But we had who they're pushing to the moon in an X Division match, which I did watch off of that, was Josh Alexander and Jake Something. Remember, X Division is not about weight limits, it's about no limits, because Jake Something's a big hoss guy.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander, they're going to push to a title shot.
Yeah.
They're going to push him against Cage or whoever the world champion is, whether now it's going to be Ace Austin for the #1 contender belt. And they had, what interesting was a mixed tag with the Drama King and Deanna Proza, who is now the new belt collector, because she won the Reinas del Reinas title in AAA, which was a really good match against Fabi Apache.
Right.
Against Trey Miguel and Milena, which Trey Miguel ate the pin. It protected Milena.
Right.
But it was a good show. I mean, the Good Brothers kept their belts. Christian kept his belt over, I can't believe I'm going to say this, over Brian Myers. Kurt Hawkins got a title shot.
Yeah.
Can you get that through your head?
Yeah, I mean, in WWE, he was kind of like a new Barry Horowitz. I mean, that was kind of his gimmick for a while. It's like he wasn't able to win any matches for a while. Now all of a sudden, he's professional. Okay.
And,
he had to go to Impact.
Well, like I said, I was saying off the air, they're scaling back on the spooky with Alexa, because I think the Bray Wyatt chants are starting to get to everybody in the back.
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, do you want to talk about the sign?
Oh, yeah, in SummerSlam. And I read something about that today. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No.
Apparently, this person who did that said it took him 30 hours to make that.
I didn't see the sign per se. What did it look like?
It looked like a Las Vegas Raiders logo, except instead of having Raiders in the shield, it said Fiend, and it had a picture of Bray Wyatt. And then to the left, it said Hurt, to the right, it said Heel. It was actually a very good picture.
So Vince is being sign Nazis again.
Yep, and they said they gave him the sign back, and he said if he didn't turn it in, they were going to kick him out.
Jesus Christ. Vince, shut the fuck up. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, stop being butthurt about everything, you petty old fart. But, like I said, 90 days, October 29th, SFE goes there. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But, where were we going before this? About,
You were in your Impact Zone.
I was in the Impact Zone. They had a mixed tag match on Emergence. Have you seen Savannah Evans yet?
No.
She is a hoss of a woman.
Okay.
And they replaced Kiera Hogan with her in Flyer and Flavor.
Mm.
She and Tasha Steelz, followed by In No Way Jose, against all four members of Decay, where I can see Tarus just breaking apart fucking by No Way.
Now, there's No Way Jose, does he still do that?
He's still doing the conga line. He's still doing the gimmick. He's just called himself No Way now.
Oh, okay. So everything else is... Oh, Jesus.
And you know who they're building up in Impact? The former Steve Cutler.
Really?
Steve Macklin. He beat Petey Williams. They're building him up.
Oh, man.
They're building him up like big time.
Hmm.
I forgot who he... Oh, he's Deanna Perozzo's boyfriend.
Okay.
So, they're building him up. He's no longer... What was that tag team? I can't remember.
Petey Williams was it?
No. Steve Cutler's tag team. I can't remember. What they were called?
I have no idea. I remember
Petey Sons.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I forgot about him.
You forgot about him.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you become a grumpy old man.
Yeah. But Macklin, they repackaged him for this, and he's doing great. He's doing fucking great.
Okay.
And again, what'd you think of Ace Austin over Moose Callahan and Chris Sabin for #1 contenders?
Oh, jeez.
And he's going to be facing Christian at probably Victory Road is the next streaming service, or they're going to wait for Bound for Glory?
Who knows? Just don't run him against anything AEW does with CM Punk or Ian Daniels.
Well, going back to resurgence from New Japan, Jay White dropped the little tidbits here. He might be showing up in AEW. He's already in Impact. He might show. He doesn't give a fuck. He says, and I quote, "I don't give a fuck where I'm going to be. You don't know where I'll show up."
No.
And Ospreay says the same thing. So you might see Ospreay show up in AEW.
I know one place he won't.
In WWE. Well, where?
Well, yeah, exactly. WWE.
Because go on YouTube Type in New Japan Super Juniors tournament, Ospreay versus Ricochet. It was like watching a video game. I mean, this is the one Vader shitted on.
Yeah.
This is the one Vader really hated because he hated all that flippity flop shit. But
Yeah.
they were ping, 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 ping.
Right.
I was like, it's like watching Street Fighter almost.
Yeah.
Now, what else you want to talk about? What hot topic? Oh, you want to go over about Riddle and Orton and the scooter?
Oh yeah. By the way, they are your new
Raw
tag
Tag
team
Team
champions.
Even though we have Viking Raiders, we have New Day, Miz and Morrison. Oh, you want to talk about Miz and Morrison breaking up?
If you must.
What do you think about making John Morrison a face?
Who gives a shit? I mean, really, with either of those two.
Yeah.
Both of them have go-away heat with me now. I don't care.
Even though he was Johnny Impact, and he was the Impact World Champion, and he was Johnny Mundo at Lucha Underground, and I think he was their champion there.
As long as they have a feud and not have a Miz TV, Moist TV, MTV, you know, Me TV, whatever, knock it off. No, stop it with it. We're already watching TV. We don't need any more TV. We need wrestling.
What'd you think of maybe the possible tease of Lashley Priest?
That would be an interesting card, but problem is they're going to
Bury a Priest.
Yeah, and the whole thing, they should have just had a title match or build up to a future title match and not just do this whole thing. Oh, it's a DQ. Alright, let's make this a tag team match. It's like, oh, God.
Oh, the match I did skip over on SummerSlam was Drew and Jinder. I did not care. I didn't care. I just didn't fucking care.
This is what kills me about WWE. And AEW is actually, I find them guilty of this too. Their talent roster is immense in both companies. But you wouldn't know...
One's overbloated right now.
And the other one's going to be.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that from the way they book these things, where you see the same matches over and over and over and over.
We've been hearing this on What Culture and Wrestle Talk. It's like, yeah, and even Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter is like, oh, great, another rematch.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, wow, okay, another false finish, another DQ, and wait, it's turning into a tag team match. It's like...
Player.
I mean, they're acting like they...
Like Teddy Long was booking.
Yeah, they're acting like it's a Smoky Mountain show somewhere in West Virginia with like 10 wrestlers, and they have like individual matches, tag team matches, and okay, we'll have a battle royal.
Granted, COVID's cut down the travel on everything, but still, you can be inventive in other ways.
It's eased up now. I mean, plus Vince, if he likes you enough, he'll fly you on his own jet, you know.
Now, the other thing that really irked me was the Cross Ricochet match, where he squashed Ricochet in less than a minute.
Well, I guess he had to go back to the basement.
Cross. But Cross with a new gimmick. Cross didn't come out with her at Takeover. Scarlett's on the side of a milk carton right now. And she's the reason he's over. That entrance when he came in last year with that entrance, she's the reason he's over. He isn't the reason he's over. She
doesn't even
is.
watch his own damn company. He doesn't watch. It was one thing when he had competitors and he didn't watch them. He doesn't watch a brand of his own company.
The third brand at least, yeah. Because he left it to Hunter. But we're going to get a Charlotte Flair Alexa Bliss feud now. That's been rumored. It has been rumored. And hopefully, spooky bullshit withstanding, we might get a good match out of both. Because Alexa's a good worker.
She's a good worker when they let her be a good worker. But she needs to be matched with a woman the size of a woman. Not a woman the size of Nia Jax, okay?
Like Nikki? That would be perfect. Her, the villain versus the hero, almost hero.
Right.
That would be perfect. They're not pulling the trigger on it. And I know.
Well, because they're both baby faces right now. That's why.
Is Alexa really?
they're booking her as such, but fans aren't buying it because they're blaming her for Bray Wyatt incident.
And we're going to get the push of Doudrop. Why don't they just call her Piper Niven?
Because
that was a 7-week of hell for her.
Because he can't copyright her name. He can copyright
Doudrop.
Yeah. Sounds like that one.
Sounds like a fucking 50s doo-wop song.
Either that or what was the name of that one girl that just died recently in the reality show, Honey Boo Boo or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's what where I think Vince got that from. But
it was like Jesus Christ, and of course, well, Alexa Bliss. I think Vince saw the movie Annabelle.
I don't think Vince saw the movie Annabelle.
Or somebody told him about the movie Annabelle. That sounds like good shit, pal.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking for. I'm going to watch NXT tomorrow night, but I don't care.
You mean the next airing of NXT? You got to stop saying tomorrow night. I talked to you about that a million times.
Yeah, in the next airing of NXT tomorrow night, and because I watch it on delay, and I honestly don't care because this is the beginning of the changes. We're going to get a stupid bullshit wrestling wedding, which we know how those end.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we've seen Indy Hartwell, who I'm starting to think she's kind of cute.
Yeah.
In a weird way, you know?
Alright, who's going to pop out of the cake this time?
It ain't Dexter.
Yeah.
Well, with Mandy Rose down there now, who we haven't seen in a couple weeks, and the other thing that really bothers me about NXT is what they're doing with Frankie Monet, a.k.a. Taya Valkyrie and Robert Stone. What the fuck are they doing with that?
They don't know.
They don't know.
They'll probably be all elite next year.
Well,
NXT will probably be almost a completely different roster a year from now.
Well, what was it we heard online? It said NXT was supposed to be the developmental for Vince. No, it's the developmental for AEW. Basically, it is.
He should take some developmental studies.
Yeah, it should be shock treatment.
Yeah.
But I like I said, Empowerr 73 coming up. We got All Out coming up, which I'm going to be at a certain place to watch it.
Right.
And I can't wait to be around fans to see it. He'll probably have it outdoors.
Right.
I can't wait to see it. I want to see how they're going to book this show and how they're going to do Christian and Kenny. Do you think Kenny's going to drop it again?
No.
No? It's a good match. It'll be a good feud, but the eventual boss battle, you're going to see Kenny versus Punk.
Right. That's why I think they're building up.
They're building up to that because it's either that who's the next big guy there that they're building up? Darby.
Cowboy,
yeah. Well,
Cowboy, yeah.
The reason why they took away the title shot, he's busy being a new dad. His wife just gave birth to her first kid. Mm-hmm. He's going to be stepping away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like Mox did, and he'll probably be back in a month.
Yeah.
Nobody from the Dark Order. Nobody from the Nightmare Academy. Oh, speaking of which, what do you think of Paul White returning into the ring? With his hip replacement, which was a shoot, by the way, for her.
Or yeah, and they showed that on. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. And you got to have something for him.
All you got to do is choke slam him. That's it. Punch him in the face with the WMD in the choke slam.
All right.
That's a match I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to Paul White's return because been there, done that. We've seen it before.
Right.
The match I want to see is Darby and fucking Punk.
Yeah.
Kenny and whoever the Bucks are going to face in that cage.
It'll probably be the
Lucius or
Jurassic Express.
Probably Jurassic for the way they're pushing them.
I would like to see the Lucius, and I would like to see it would probably be the only team that the Young Bucks will drop the belts to.
because I think they're real close to the Luchas.
Yeah, they have had good matches together. Those two.
Dude, that match they had on the AAA tag titles was that ladder match was amazing.
Oh yeah.
If we get any type of run-in theater for the cage match, it's going to be the Good Brothers.
Right.
I don't think Omega's going to run in, or who else? Who else is from the Elite there still left? It's either Hangman or Cody, and they're both gone.
Yeah, Cody's taking time off.
Naka.
Yeah, and
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah,
Cutler. Why is he wearing the face shield now? I don't get it. Why is he wearing the fucking the Sheamus garb?
Same reason Sheamus did. He got punched there once, and now he's wearing it just to be a chicken shit heel.
And that cold spray, whatever the fuck that cold spray is all about.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fun month coming up for wrestling. And like I said, September 18th, I'm going to start watching the G1. Because I'm interested in who's going to be in it, because Ibushi's out with different lung ailments right now, not COVID related. A couple of the roster has COVID. The world champion has COVID right now. And like I said, it's going to be an interesting month to see who goes where.
Right.
And do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
all those companies.
Day.
Yeah. And plus, what how it's going to affect everything worldwide.
Yeah.
As far as travel and all that.
And with the Delta variant and everything shutting back down again. If Suzuki is in this country, because I know he lives in the UK with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's the NXT Women's UK Champion. I forgot her name. Fuck. That's another thing about a Takeover. Kaylee Ray showed up.
That too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. The former NXT Women's Champion, UK Champion. And she basically, they kind of teased her and Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And I heard she was very dominant. I don't watch NXT UK because that's just another too much to watch,
Right.
Because WWE,
Where can you watch it? I guess on the network?
Network, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. And, from what I heard, Dragunov and Walter 1 was amazing. I watched 2 and it was amazing. Her 1 just blew the roof off the place.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what do you want to talk about, or is that it?
I guess that's it. Give your socials that nobody gives a shit about.
Christopher James Filato at Facebook and at C Filato on Twitter.
And as usual, folks, be right out in a minute. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, pass it on to your friends.
And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on.
And before I let you go, I have one more thing to say. On your way out, have an ice cream bar. Alright, folks, we'll see you next time.
See ya!